Which question?
Cadillac, mannaggia money.
I'll get some.
Go crypto investing, and welcome on this mid-March, right? Approaching the mid part of the first month of springtime already, if you can believe that already. Working our way in towards the most miserable time of old Vincenzo's time of the year, the summertime, but it is seasonably mild to warm. 50-degree morning in the greater Bloomington metropolitan area in central Manandela Manin. Join Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing Jabroni Killers, or you're going to be a Manandela Manin, right? Don't be a Manandela Manin Jabroni. Peace and love. Boy, this is Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing, where you like, subscribe, and share for a one-of-a-kind, company-made, probability-based trading alert, technical analysis, right? As we're your most trusted source. And you're really seeing that now as we're starting to bring back once-a-day flashback predictions nearing our one-year anniversary of Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing, and to emphasize the probability-based system, computer software that I made and I stand by and trade with alongside system. You're seeing now 1 year later, nearly about 10 and a half months right now. 10 and a half months ago, Vincenzo came online. In about the end of the middle of April, I think we made our first few videos. And then in May, we really got going, right? So April was our first video. Maybe late March, we put one out or two out, and then we didn't do anything for a month, and then really started getting we really took the bull by the horn, right? But you're starting to see some of those predictions from 11 months ago in April, especially the end of April and May when Bitcoin flipped. And I said we were going into a multi-year bear market. We entered into a bear market last year in the beginning of May. And I told you all that Elon Musk was the start of the bear market. You guys wouldn't know it then or next week or next month or the month after. But 10, 12 months down the line, you would see that that was the blow off top and the point that the bull market ended and a multi-year bear market ensued. Yeah, we had a huge bear market rally after Bitcoin and all the altcoins. Bitcoin went down about 52% from its 65,000, 66,000 top down to about 28. The altcoins went down from 50 to 85%. And then Bitcoin rallied back and breached its all-time high, but never closed above it, and then started selling off. And now it's down about 40-something% again. The altcoins, most of them did not make new highs. Most of them only got back about 50%. And now they've collapsed down since those secondary lower highs from their first high last year. And you're really seeing the reason you need to become members of Jabroni Killer, because those predictions of a multi-year bear market that started last May, that when you guys kept asking and everyone kept talking all their nonsense and charlatan behaviors of the criminal gangsters that are out there on YouTube that are hustlers and heisters, and they put out there like snake oil salesmen to promote you a bill of goods. They were talking bad about Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing. They were saying we didn't know what we were talking about. They were dissing us. They were shunning us, right? Because they thought my prediction was way off, because they're paid promoters and hustlers out here on YouTube, just like Crypto Nick, just like Trevon James, just like the BITCOIN39 guy. They used to be all over with a bunch of hype money, and then it was shown that BitConnect was a Ponzi scheme, and a lot of them went to jail. The coin went from $599 to zero, essentially in an hour, and everybody lost all their money, right? That's the same thing that's going on now. And Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing 12 months into the future now, you can see, or nearly, that our predictions were dead on, and the hypesters that said Bitcoin would be well over $100,000 by now in April of 2021. They said by 2022, Bitcoin would be well north of 100,000, making its run in the stock to flow, pushing near 200,000, right? And then there would be a consolidation at each area. Well, we've consolidated twice from 60,000, and we're nowhere near 100,000 12 months after the first pump to 60,000, right? They're way off. They're selling you a bill of goods. Not saying crypto can't go to 100,000. Not saying Bitcoin can't go to 100,000. Not saying the altcoins don't have another altcoin season, but I'm telling you, it's all in a cycle. It's cyclical, right? With these market manipulators and the higher forces that have infiltrated the world's monetary and fiscal policy, right? The Federal Reserve in the United States, central banks around the world, congressmen, senators, right? Mayors, city council, and school board members have all been infiltrated by this higher force that has manipulated the overall equity markets. Countries are run by these same people, and it's all manipulated and orchestrated and run flawlessly and beautifully to beat down the retail trader and the average working man and woman around the world, to keep us working longer and longer hours at shittier and shittier pay and higher taxes with a lower standard of living consistently year over year and decade over decade, to keep us beat down and dependent on a centralized power, right? And that's what we've figured out by our education, and the only way around that is education, right? You have to educate yourself. And if you're in a battlefield and on the battlefield and you don't know your enemy and what your enemy does with deception, with propaganda, and the mainstream media and government puppets, the way they manipulate everything, currency markets, stock markets, crypto markets, gold and silver bullion markets, right? Food, energy. When Jerome Powell comes out there and says, we're going to have monetative tightening, he's saying we're going to rig the markets down, right? We're going to suck money out of the economy because we've over-rigged them to the upside, right? That's what it means. When Jerome Powell says we're going to raise or lower interest rates, it means a centralized planner is rigging the markets. And if you don't understand the language that that man speaks and these people talk, you won't understand what's happening, and you will continue to be buying bubbles and selling the bust when you should be selling the rally and buying the bust. Because a correction or a recession, depression in worst case scenario, is actually fixing the rigged market, right? But the Federal Reserve and the market manipulators and the powers that be that have infiltrated free countries, especially the United States, Europe, Canada, right? Former free countries, they've been fully infiltrated, and everything is rigged against you, right? That's how we were able, with our computer software system, with all this knowledge and education that we've obtained over 25 years, we were able to build a computer software system that incorporates all of that into there. Not just the price action, the news, the technicals, but incorporates the manipulation and perceived and forecasted manipulation by the higher powers, because we have that understanding. And that's how these calls are being made, and these calls are coming true of Dogecoin coming from 62 cents. On that video yesterday, watch those two, one of them's 12 minutes long, where we went over when it was at 58 cents and we had a 9.5 cent target on a head and shoulders topping reversal. It's just that simple. You guys need to get on board. You need to become members of Jabroni Killers. We think you're going to trade down because you're in the symmetrical triangle as we wrap this little rant up down to 38,000 over the next few days. You can still puff back up to upper resistance where that red arrow is at 38, 39, 40,000-ish, right? But I think if you do that again, you're going to start to trade back down, right? That's just what I think is going on in the immediate short term. And then real quick before I get to work, fashionably late, right? We're going to look at a couple more coins, XRP. We're still trying to bounce off of this, and we know XRP, if you could get any kind of bounce that you've been trying to essentially for weeks, a former Michigan football player, Donovan People-Jones, right? Underachiever at Michigan, doing pretty good in the NFL. Still a fun player to watch. 74 cents is your major underneath support. We're at 200 days slithering just north of it. And that upper resistance is still possible if you try to make a full lateral pump within a symmetrical triangle, the same as Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin, symmetrical triangle, we pumped up, it's a tighter symmetrical triangle. XRP, a 10.5 month symmetrical triangle, so it takes a lot more fortitude and volume to get up there, right? But that is possible. Up there, your upper resistance, and as you know, your lower short-term target is 47 cents on a pattern breakdown, right? And then XLM is the same thing. If you can hold this 16 cents, 16.6666 down there, the blue dotted line, which you've been holding between where the green dotted line is the current price, right? We just put that on there so you can see the current price. The purple dotted line in between these two ranges has been holding as support, right? But if you get above that 200-day where you're at now, you could make a run up near 21 cents. That is your upper target still, but we do know we got this big green arrow. If at any moment you fail to hold that 16.666, you're coming down to the next underneath target, which is the blue ring down there, right? See that? See how that works? You come from upper resistance, the 12 cents, the mid-rate point between the last blue line where you broke down and the next underneath target, which is your target after you broke down, but sometimes they pump midway through, and then the 10 cents would be your underneath target. Like, subscribe, and share to Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing. Become a member of Jabroni Killer to help you sidestep and audible that criminal gangsters and the higher powers that manipulate the markets to knock down and beat down and fleece, heist, and shiest the retail trader and average man, woman, and child out there, and turn their standard of living into kublak, right? A bunch of fun goo, right? So that's what we got going on here. Peace and love. Peace and love.